Hello guys. So today something a bit different, something new. In this Server Basics series we learned how to install Windows Server 2019. We learned a few basic configuration steps on it after installation. We even brought up Hyper-V virtualization platform and created our first virtual machine. But today we are going to start with the services that are in use in every production system, in every company that uses Windows Server 2019 or Windows Server in general. We are going to learn how to set up Active Directory. As always, I already wrote this up on my blog, so you can head over there and read about Active Directory if I'm going too fast or you don't understand me very well. And now we are going to start with an Active Directory. Before we begin with the Active Directory role installation, we are going to go through some prerequisites. All the prerequisites that I'm going to speak about now are already covered in my previous video about basic setup configuration of Windows Server 2019. So we are going to go to the control panel, network, change adapter settings, properties. So in order for your Active Directory to function properly, you are going to need the fixed IP address. As for every one of the services we are going to go through in this series, so here are my settings. DNS server is very important and make it to be localhost. So that's that. Under system, I gave my machine name SBAD, Server Basics Active Directory. Name your machine to whatever you like, but make sure that you remember it and it makes sense to you. And after we done these two, I'm logging as info admin, not as an administrator, something that I also talked about in the previous videos and configuration of Windows Server 2019. So these are the three prerequisites I done. So let's head to the server manager. Okay, add roles and features. Before you begin, blah blah blah. Next, installation type role based. Next, server selection. This is the machine that we are going to install our Active Directory on. This machine, the machine that hosts Active Directory is called domain controller, and domain controller always hosts Active Directory. Active Directory also has a great philosophy and many features that you need to learn about. So FSMO roles are, for starters, one thing, global catalog, many things that you will need to learn about Active Directory, but for now let's go on with our setup. Active Directory also is identity service. Its main purpose is identity service, and all the services we are going to go through in this series are going to need Active Directory in order to function. So Active Directory is heart of every system that is based on Windows Server and has domain setup. Okay, so let's go and select Active Directory domain services. Okay, additional pop-up will appear. Add features, we need them. Next. Okay, we don't need any features from the feature screen. Active Directory domain services stores information about users, computers and other devices on the network. ADDS helps administrators securely manage this information and facilitates resources sharing and collaboration between users. Okay, so that's that. Next, and install. And now the waiting game begins. We are going to wait for the Active Directory role to install. And we are done. Installation succeeded. Okay, we will need to configure our Active Directory now after we installed the role, so I will select close. Now we are going to promote our SBAD, Server Basic Active Directory machine, to the domain controller. Click on this little flag and select promote this server to a domain controller. Okay, let's wait just a little bit for everything to set up, and we will select add a new forest because we don't have existing domain that we want to add additional domain controller to or something else. We are creating a new domain environment. I am going to name my domain informatiker.local. Next. Okay, a little bit waiting. Again, we are waiting a bit. So forest functional level is Windows Server 2016 and domain functional level is Windows Server 2016. If you have older servers in your environment and you want to add a new domain controller, then you will have to select prior version of Windows Server. But since this is a clean lab that only has Windows Server 2019, we are going to select functional level at Windows Server 2016. Domain name server is something that is also going to be installed with on this domain controller, and global catalog is by default installed. Also, we are going to enter the password, directory services restore mode. Make sure that you don't enter this and forget it. Write that password somewhere down and keep it safe. Keep it secret, because maybe you are going to need it in the future. If there is anything wrong with your Active Directory and your domain controller, in order to restore the services and to repair domain controller, you are going to be asked for this directory services restore mode password. So make sure you know what you entered here and write it somewhere down and remember it. Okay, DNS options. Okay, we are just going through with next. Additional options, NetBIOS name. We are again waiting. Okay, Informatiker is our NetBIOS domain name, that's okay. Next. Okay, our database folder, log files folder, sysfall folder. All of this we are going to leave as it is. Review options. Okay, you can also view the script that will execute. Prerequisites checked. There are going to be some yellow triangles, but nothing too scary. Okay, so this is all okay. We will select install, and now this machine is going to be promoted to the domain controller. Okay, the machine is going to reboot now. Reboot took a little longer. Waiting game is always strong with my machines, so it is what it is. We are going to log back in, and this machine should now be our domain controller. Okay, let's see what Server Manager says. A little bit of red color, but nothing too scary. Let's wait a little bit more. Okay, so we have Active Directory domain services and DNS server installed. Also, info admin is now our domain admin, and we have Active Directory services installed. Okay, let's check users and computers for start. Okay, that's it. We have now informatiker.local domain, to which we are going to add computers, users, objects, create rules with group policy, and a lot of other great stuff that you can do with Active Directory. So that is more or less it for now. We installed Active Directory. In next video we are going to add users and computers to our domain, and we are going to expand this lab a little bit further. Until then, have a nice day. Bye bye.